ever do April Fool's videos? You should.
I don't know. No, I didn't.
I did one.
If I did it, I'd go too far, though. I know I would. I'd be like,
I agree.
I'd be like, I killed Dorothy, and like I just have Dorothy like laying like a fucking like she just got a shot in the head in the corner, and be like, ha, ha, ha. And then I'd be like, April 3rd video would be like, I'm in prison. Apparently, can't do that.
Not a prank.
I know, right?
Did you ever see that one video? This was when I was like a senior in high school, where it was like kidnapping my friend prank.
No.
There's this video. I think it's Sam Pepper maybe, but it was this piece of shit dude who would do prank videos. And chat, let me know if you've seen this.
Piece of shit dude who does prank videos. That's redundant.
Yeah, it's definitely not narrowing it down either.
Yeah.
But there was this dude who did prank videos, and there was one where it was like kidnapping my friend and faking my death in front of him. And it's his friend gets like a burlap sack thrown over his head and thrown into a van.
Holy shit.
And then it's them on like a skyscraper rooftop, like in New York, and they're both tied to a chair. And it's like the friend's like freaking out, and like the guy who's like doing the video is next to him. He's like, it's all right, it's fine, it's gonna be okay. And they're like, where's so and such? And like, we don't know. And then they like put a burlap sack over the the prankster.
Yeah.
And it's got like a blood squib in it.
Gotcha.
They put a sack over his head, and they come up and they pretend to shoot him, and the squib like explodes out the front.
Yeah.
And it goes limp. And then the friend's like bawling his eyes out and like screaming and like trying to rip out of this chair. And then at the end, they're like, dude, I'm totally okay. And the guy's just like, fucking face is soaked in tears, like not into it, obviously.
Holy fucking shit.
It's crazy. It looks like a Batman scene. Like it's like nighttime. It's like 2 a.m, top of a skyscraper.
Oh my God, dude. First off, imagine being, I want to say it's produced because they had to get that guy onto a rooftop without anybody being like, oh, where are you taking that burlap sack, man?
Maybe it's an apartment building.
Yeah.
And they just had people like clear it out. Like it's probably produced.
Yeah.
But also this guy was fucking crying.
Yeah,
pretty intense.
if it was produced, this guy was a fantastic actor kind of thing.
Yeah, it would have launched his career if it was fake.
That's crazy as fuck, dude.
Yeah.
It probably isn't produced because like most prank channels are like just the least talented people you could ever imagine.
Yeah.
But that is crazy as hell. Why did we come to this? Why are we talking
April 1st.
April 1st, gotcha.
Because you were going to rank Harley Quinn's
farts, dude.
Yeah.
I'll absolutely still do it. Top 10 farts in anime.
Farley Quinn.
Dude, Farley Quinn. Hopefully her comic will be out by then. But anyways, we got a lot to talk about today. I watched more of the Owl House. We got Solo Leveling episode 3.
Nice.
We didn't watch Zenshu because it looks bad. Sakamoto Days.
Oh, we'll talk about it though, because we didn't talk about it last week. Mm-hmm. And that's the manga one, right?
Yeah.
You got to talk about it.
I'll talk about Zenshu a little bit here. Sakamoto Days episode 2 came out. And then Castlevania Nocturne Season 2 is out. I'm 3 episodes in.
Okay.
Danny is 1 episode in. And then we got a pretty important best boy that I'm very excited to get to. But what do we want to start with? We want to start with my Owl House review here.
Should we get Zenshu out of the way?
Okay, let's do Zenshu. You're right. Because me and Danny sat together and we watched the first 7 minutes of Zenshu.
Explain what the premise is for anyone who hasn't heard of it.
For those of you who don't remember, Zenshu is the MAPPA original anime that's coming out this anime season. And we're like, oh, MAPPA is only dropping one anime this season, so like maybe it's gonna be worth watching. Like MAPPA has a crazy animation project. This is an original story. But what I found recently...
Well, also, sorry, before you get into like the twist of what it is...
Yeah.
What's super interesting about it, why I was so excited, is because MAPPA has become famous for just abusing the hell out of their animators.
Yeah.
Especially with JJK Season 2, where like animators were tweeting like images, like manga images of like girls hanging themselves with no context. And everyone's like, wow, things must be rough.
Mind you, manga images of girls hanging themselves from manga about animators being abused.
Yeah, exactly. And so this is a manga or a MAPPA original anime about a mangaka who's like strung out and stressed. And we were like, this is gonna start something.
We're like, if anybody can tell this story, we're like, wow, tone deaf, but also at the same time, if you want a team of people who can tell this story, it's fucking MAPPA.
But anyway, so we watched the first 7 minutes.
We watched the first 7 minutes, and we're like, oh, there's gonna be an interesting story about like that's gonna give us a peek behind the curtain of like manga creation, turning it into anime, basically like Oshinoko. Like, it's gonna be a cool like look into the industry. And within the first 5 minutes, the main character, who is a talented animator who gets her own story, and it's basically like Sailor Moon, but she wears a mask, and it like blows up in popularity. Everyone's like, oh, she's gonna direct a movie now, an anime movie, and it's about first love. And she doesn't know, she's never been in love, so she doesn't know how to write it, kind of thing. So she's like throwing shit at a wall to see if it sticks, and nothing's sticking. She's trying to do everything herself. All the other animators on her team are like fucking the Zenshu, I don't remember what her name is. She's like, hey, like, let us help you out. And she's refusing to let anybody help her out. And then she eats an expired clam meal and she gets sent to her childhood favorite movie, and it's an isekai.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah,
what a fucking swing and a miss.
Just a huge rug pull on what could have been a really cool story told by the right people objectively.
Yeah.
And it's just another soulless isekai.
I'd be so much more into watching like just a mature drama about the difficulties working as a mangaka or as an animator.
Yep.
And it's just so nothing. It's so mid.
It's the most bland looking fucking color by numbers isekai you could ever imagine, from the premise to the execution, to the graphics, to the art design. Everything is just straight down the fucking middle.
Yeah, we watched it in dub. The voice acting's great.
Yeah.
The main girl's really good, but yeah, what a disappointment.
Yeah.
What a just gigantic missed opportunity. That's like a Mashal with me, where I'm like, I hate that this premise is being used on this thing that I wish was a different thing.
Yeah.
At the very least, though, Zenshu is so different from what I thought it was gonna be that it's not like it's taken the opportunity for like another thing to do it instead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the best, honestly, like if you're looking for that kind of thing, though, I'm gonna fucking hammer this point home until you do it.
What story?
It's Oshinoko.
Oh, I see.
It's Oshinoko season 2. They do this exact thing.
Just got so bored.
They talk about but if you want a mature drama about the difficulties of manga production, Danny, it's Oshinoko.
I guess so. I guess you're white. When you're white, you're white.
I am white.
Yeah, you are.
Anyways, yeah. So Zenshu, we're not watching it this season.
No.
Because there's no reason to. Like, me and Danny are very well noted in the fact that we don't really enjoy isekai anymore, and this is definitely not going to be a game changer isekai by any means.
Yeah.
It's going to be the character falling in love for the first time, and that's it. All right, Owl House. I am officially on episode, I believe, I don't have Disney Plus on my phone because I'm not a child. I was going to check, but I have it on all the TVs because I sent it to Dorothy's account.
What's happened?
I'm on episode 15, I believe, of season 2.
Nice.
Maybe 16. The most recent episode focused on, was it the Flyer Derby? It might have been the Flyer Derby.
Yeah, Hunter joins the Grudge
joins the
thing.
coven, and then so he gets a Penstagram. What was the most recent thing that happened? Now I'm thinking of Soul Leveling. I'm like, fucking Luz is building the elixir of life.
Yeah.
Because that's like more or less what's kind of happening. They're just trying to build the door right now. It's kind of the season's been like, it was so in the beginning it started so plot heavy, and then it was like, we're going back to episodic stuff like the Flyer Derby, all of that. Like, they're just kind of like, I feel like they're trying to establish Hunter as a character.
Yeah.
You know what it was?
What?
It was the Rain recap episode where they show how Ida and Rain met.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is one of the big things that I do want to talk about, but I have a couple of notes that I'd like to get to first. First note, I'd be surprised if you even remember this, is Hootie's tongue watch was horrifying.
Yes.
Do you remember Hootie's tongue watch?
Yeah.
It's like a fucking, it's like made of like worms.
Yeah, they're like planning their like their terrorist act.
Yeah,
and he like sticks out his tongue. Yeah.
When they're like piloting Bellows like a fucking mech.
Yeah.
That was so much fun. I love that Hootie's getting more time in the sun in this season. Just because him just like being like, chaos reigns! And he's just shooting fireworks out of Bellows's, because I think they were trying to kidnap Rain, right? That was the whole reason.
Yeah.
Like, Rain basically is getting manipulated by the Plant Coven head, who apparently has had like a big interest in them like their entire life. And so I thought that was like a really fun way to try and break them out of them. I also wrote, I love the Coven head system.
Yeah.
Because I find the Coven heads, it's kind of like that thing, right? Where you introduce like a system and then there's people at the head of it, right? So it's the Hashiras.
Right.
But
Yeah.
like, it's like.
No, the Hashiras is like a great example.
Yeah, it's like the Hashiras. It's, there's kind of something similar in Kagurabachi. I'm trying to think of like
Akatsuki?
The Akatsuki, but there's like, I guess the heads would be like Obito and Nagato.
Yeah, I guess so.
But I'm talking about like multiple different,
Yeah.
the Gote 13 is the best approximation in anime. That's what it is. But like you get all these like, you're like, this person's important because they're in charge, and they'll have really interesting character designs. They obviously are all like, they all abide by different kinds of magic.
Yeah.
So there's the Plant Coven head, there's the Abomination Coven head, there's Rain, who's the Bard Coven head. So they've all been really interesting. I like that they're all also kind of morally ambiguous. Like there's some of them like, I like the relationship that the Abomination Coven head has with Hunter.
Yeah, Darius.
Darius, yeah. First off, sick design.
It's awesome.
Such a sick design.
He's always gooping.
Yeah.
His hair is just like this constant string of goop. Yeah.
But I also like that, like, he was like, I was gonna drop off all these, Hunter captured his entire like flyer derby team, and he's like, I was gonna drop them off at Hexside. It's about time you stopped listening to Bellows so closely.
Yeah.
Like, I thought that was really cool.
Well, I like the Coven head thing is sick because I love a boss rush. Like I love establishing a whole like cabinet of bosses.
Yeah.
And then also like up until meeting them, we've only seen like mid-tier magic use. Like I was like, the Abomination Coven is the worst coven. You make one grimace and he kind of sucks.
Yeah.
But then we see Darius like do crazy shit with Abomination Man. Like he turns into slime and can like slither around or turn into a big monster. And it's like, wow, it's so cool seeing these magic systems at their like mastered level.
You know who I thought was actually, who has a cooler usage of Abomination magic than Darius?
Who?
Amity's dad.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know his name. I don't remember his name, but the
forget, but
the blight guy.
Yeah.
He's got on his back, he has like a Gara sand gourd he uses to like fucking like control it like sand with his abomination.
Yeah.
And as Dan Terrace, I believe, is like a really big anime fan. I mean, because
there's anime references all over the goddamn
there's
place.
Like the Yamcha, there's a Yamcha fucking crater. Like they make a Dragon Ball reference. Like there's a lot of like really good.
They make some like, I think they say Monster Slayer or something at one point. And I was like, whoa, weird to make a Demon Slayer reference.
Yeah.
It's usually just Naruto and Dragon Ball.
Dragon Ball, exactly. But like it's new gen. So like Demon Slayer is